Well, thank you so much. I appreciate everything that's been said up to this point. And as all of you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm certainly not a realtor and not a public health expert. But I am serving as the Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce for the state of Mississippi. And I think you'd find a lot of people to agree that I'm a conservative, long-time conservative leader in our state. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. You know, I brought with me a copy of the 7-page constitutional amendment that is going to be before the people of Mississippi in just a few days. And I have no doubt that if it were printed on the ballot, it would not pass, because I've read it myself. And as a conservative, I can tell you it is awful policy. I think it's the worst initiative to ever cross the aisles of any ballot initiative anywhere, any place. And here it is in Mississippi. Now, I want to explain to you why I'm saying that this morning. I have no doubt that there are a lot of well-meaning people who believe in the concept, and I'm going to talk to you in just a minute. There are a lot of people who support the idea of treatment with marijuana components, CBD and so forth. But whether you are for it or whether you are against it, I'm going to share with you some very legitimate reasons as a conservative why you should vote against Initiative 65. Just say no. The first is, as a conservative, we believe in the rights of the people, and we believe in less government and less government control. And I have nothing against the Department of Health. They're my friends, Dr. Dobbs, all these good doctors behind me. One of my doctors is right here behind me. I appreciate them. And this is nothing personal, but at the end of the day, conservatives cannot support a concept that gives complete and total control of anything to any unelected state agency. And that's exactly what Initiative 65 does. If you support marijuana treatments, why would you vote to give total control of it to an unelected Department of Health that, as you see, doesn't even want this program? That doesn't make any sense. You've got to follow the money, as Senator Hill said. I got at my home yesterday a poster advertising in favor of 65, and I know something about politics. It costs somebody a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars, to run these ads on television, to send these posters to your home, millions of dollars from out of state. And as the Agriculture Commissioner, I want to ask you this. Why didn't this initiative say one thing about where they're going to grow this marijuana? Not one word about where it's going to be sourced or grown. People say it'll be good for the farmers. This initiative doesn't even give farmers the right to grow it in Mississippi. Let me tell you something. As a conservative, you've just got to look at this and say, we don't need to give this kind of control of a marijuana industry to the Department of Health. Let me tell you some of the things that it says it will do. If you read the actual initiative, they're going to do tracking and labeling of medical marijuana. They're going to do qualifications for processing marijuana. They're going to do medical marijuana identification cards. They're going to do standards for testing facilities. They're going to put it in nursing homes, reciprocal agreements with other states, qualifications for the caregivers and treatment centers, implementation, listen to this, of a statewide database system. There you go. Yeah, you say you want freedom to use marijuana, but you're going to create a statewide tracking database for yourself when you vote for Initiative 65, and penalties for violations. So I want to ask the people who are out there today who may be on the fence about this, you support the concept. Why on earth would you vote for a program that's going to give total control to the Department of Health that doesn't even want to put it into place? As a conservative, this doesn't make sense. In fact, Initiative 65 is the exact opposite of what it means to be a conservative. If you believe in freedom, if you believe in the voice of the people, if you want the right to have this kind of treatment option, then you need to vote for 65A. Because yes, the legislature has not acted on it. They did with Harper Grace's law, but they've not acted on it comprehensively. But if you vote for 65A, then you're going to mandate to the legislature that they must act on penalty of violating the Constitution. So you have an option for those who have compassion for those in need. I know something about pain myself and in my family's life. I know something about the need for treatment. And if you support that concept, you can vote for 65A without creating a totally state-controlled marijuana industry under the jurisdiction of the Department of Health. I want to ask you this. Can you imagine marijuana dispensaries, these marijuana dispensaries cropping up in all of our communities around the state, and there's nothing anybody could do about it, nothing the legislature could do about it, nothing the law enforcement could do about it, 500 feet from your schoolhouse, 500 feet from your church house. That's what we're talking about here, with no opportunity of the people to weigh in on it. It's the opposite of what it means to be a conservative. It's wrong for Mississippi. It's wrong for our families. I've been through the western states of the United States of America this past summer, and in Arizona and in Colorado. I saw these kind of pot shops they're talking about. And they are run down, dilapidated buildings. Find an abandoned building, a warehouse somewhere, put a pot sign in front of it. And is that what we want to send as a message to our children across Mississippi? I don't think so. As a father of 4 children, I'm concerned. My wife Leslie and I are concerned about the future of Mississippi. And we want this to be the best state it can be. But that won't happen if Initiative 65 passes. So I'm urging you, look at the facts, look at the evidence. Why would you pass a statewide tracking database on yourself as a marijuana-treated person? Do you realize I've stood behind the well of this Capitol and fought for our Second Amendment rights over and over and over and restored them in a bunch of cases? And do you realize it violates federal law for you to be in possession or use of marijuana, for you to even possess a gun? Why would you do that, Mississippi? Don't vote for 65. It's silly, but really it's serious, because there are millions and millions of dollars coming into this state to deceive our people, to get you to vote for it. And the consequences will last for generations and years to come. Well, will the federal ATF be able to come take your hunting rights away if you get a statewide marijuana use card? According to Michigan, the state of Michigan, ATF has indicated that's exactly what they would do there. We don't need the ATF coming down here to Mississippi and taking our guns away. My goodness. Somebody hadn't thought this through, or maybe they have. And they perpetuated perhaps a multi-million-dollar scheme of deception on the people of Mississippi. So I want to say to you, if you want to support the concept, you have a choice. You can vote against both, and you can vote for 65A, against both of them, and vote for 65A. Because at least with 65A, you still have a voice. You get to go to your legislator and describe to them the kind of program you want them to pass. They'll be mandated to pass it. And you get your voice. As 65A moves forward, you'll have the opportunity to put your preferences in there, and to have local law enforcement to enforce the law, and to have your local city make rules and your county to make rules for your community and for your citizens. So let me just say this. Don't give the Department of Health another point of control over your personal freedoms, when in fact you could pass 65A and let it go through the right way, the legislative way. So I want to close with this one question to those who do support medical marijuana, or those who do support the idea of treating with this new technology of marijuana. If you're in favor of medical marijuana treatments, why on earth would you vote to give total control of it to a Department of Health that doesn't even want to do it? Now you think about that. You join me in voting against both and vote for 65A. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the great state of Mississippi.